real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Gabriel Bullock grew up with the defendant, and Gabriel claims he's nothing but a womanizer. Gabriel once heard the defendant have loud sex in his bedroom with a woman who was not his girlfriend, and he's suing today for rent and damages. Defendant LaMarcus Hawkins says Gabriel is one of the cheapest people he's ever met. LaMarcus says Gabriel is so cheap that he constantly unplugged all of their electronics and appliances, and he denies owing for anything.
All right, tell me what happened.
First of all, I do have a disclaimer. I'm not a player hater. I just want to get that out real quick.
What are you saying that for?
Because
hey, that's what he's going to claim?
This is a ladies' man right here.
Spends all this time and money on women. That's why he can't pay his rent.
That's an objection.
Quick example.
This kid don't know anything about you.
That's an objection.
Just going with what he's saying. Go ahead.
Quick situation. I always had his back during his womanizing. Prime example, one time he gave me a call. He told me, man, I'm on my way. I got my girl with me, but last night I had a different girl, so he had put his pictures away. So he told me, go in the room and put my pictures back on the mirror, because she gonna say something if I don't have it up there. Always took care of it, never had a problem with it. One time I couldn't help him, it was a coincidence. I worked nights, I got off late at night, and I got home.
That's right. Hey, right. He worked nights too. You're right. Go ahead.
I got home late. I had a female with me, and we got in, and he was very loud with a female doing this thing, and my friend was like, "Turn the TV up. He's too loud." She assumed that it was his girlfriend at the time. Come to find out, she was friends with a friend of his girlfriend, but he wasn't there with his girlfriend. He was there with a different girl. He got back.
And she found out?
Yeah, she found out, and he looked at me. I told him, I didn't say anything. I got your back. It was the girl I was with. That was a coincidence.
Player. You want to tell me about your playing days?
I object to all of those things. I have no recollection of none of that.
He's been in jail also. Or at least in court. No recollection. Or law school, I'm sorry. Let me say it in the most positive way. He's been in law school. No recollection.
Your Honor, when you're sharing a house, you got different sections. I can't control the thinness of the walls, so, it's good.
Since second grade, we've been friends. We stayed in contact. Out of our little crew, we're the only two that probably still stay in contact. So I definitely learned a lesson. Definitely, I lost my friend. Not only did I lose my friend, he's definitely an excellent barber. I lost my barber, and you know how hard it is to find a barber these days. So I definitely learned my lesson.
We have a good barber here, Erskine. Mm-hmm. You see how well he does? He say he does all right with me. I don't look in the mirror. That's too vain. You all have known each other since second grade. When did you all move in together?
We moved in together March of 2009.
All right, and the agreement was?
The agreement was I was to give him 2 rooms, and he was to pay me $600 a month.
2 bedrooms?
2 bedrooms. He has children. Sometimes his children stay over.
All right, and the only negative thing about it was he was a sex fiend.
Like I stated earlier, I'm not a player.
Well, that's man gotta have, yeah.
What he do is his business. We had other ups and downs, but
can you get him to say that one more time, please? What I do is my business.
Tell me about your playing days.
I object to all of those things. I have no recollection of none of that.
He's been in jail also. Or at least in court. No recollection. Or law school, I'm sorry.
Plaintiff Gabriel Bullock rented 2 rooms in his house to the defendant, and he claims one night he heard the defendant having loud sex with a woman who was not his girlfriend.
You tell me how it was staying with him, you all as roommates, before we get to the rent he's suing about.
For the most part of his story is true. You know, we grew up together. But again, what I do is my business. But me and you right now, we dealing with one of the pickiest, cheapest guys that you probably gonna ever meet. You know, like, unlike me, I like to date him. He probably take a girl that wouldn't go out with her because she had on flats, or her fingernail polish was the wrong color, or her weight wasn't sufficient enough for his quote unquote.
You would take anything.
I would take anything. You know, so
Anything on 2 feet. Just
I'm a one-woman man, Your Honor. One-woman man, that's what I am. But that even rolled over to the way the house was. You know, living with him was cool. The only thing that I had a problem with was you couldn't have nothing plugged up in the house. He unplugged the stove, the microwave, the computers,
Why?
the TVs. He said he was saving on his rent.
That's a little too far. I was about to compliment you. You unplug everything to save electricity?
I'm not gonna lie.
Unplug
Yes,
everything.
I do.
You know, when I first moved in, it was times I forgot that the stove was unplugged. I would put a piece in the stove, turn it on, come back. My pizza is unthawed, Your Honor. You know, it took time to get used to it. You know. So and then
That's good. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna have some money for the rest of your life.
So I guess he saved on the money.
May
that
not have
I
any
didn't pay
electricity.
Anyway. But he did give me the 2 rooms for the $600. But
Okay.
even with the second room that my kids stayed in, he kept the computer in there because that's where the line for the internet came in. So
How old were your children?
I have a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh, good. They can go in. They stay
Right,
where
it
the
was
computer
cool and all,
was at.
but when I moved that furniture in with his desk being there, I would slide the desk over just to fit the TV and have some room. I'll come back from work and he didn't move everything back his way, so it would be sufficient for his needs. Like he got this OCD thing or whatever. Everything has to be picture perfect when he walk in or whatever. So like I would have to move it back. So it got to the point where every time I went to work, he moved it back. Every time he went to work, I moved it back. So we went back and forth with that for a couple of weeks till we finally got that settled, left it his way because I got tired of moving it or whatever.
That's not true. A happy medium.
All right. Now let's get to this rent and damages. What happened?
Okay.
$600 a month since March of 2009.
He
Then
paid.
what?
I never had a problem with him. He paid. First of all, we came to agreement. Most people pay at the beginning of the month. I let him live there a month and then pay. We came to that agreement. That was okay with me. So I got a text 3 days before he was moving that said, "Do you mind? Would you be mad if I moved out like soon?" I told him I don't care if you move out as long as you pay what's owed to me. So 3 days later, he moved out.
When? What month?
He moved out in July of 2010.
All right.
Yeah, the urgency
And
of the move.
hold on, when was the
Okay.
last time he had paid rent?
He had paid rent for May. He paid May's rent.
So he failed to pay June and July.
Correct. He only stayed in my house July 11 days.
But you're supposed to give 30-day notice.
Exactly.
So actually, he owes you for the entire month of July.
Oh, well,
Since he didn't give you notice, he owes for 30 days beyond the notice. Or beyond the time that he moved without notice. You follow me?
Yes, definitely.
So that's how that goes. You're about to short yourself a little bit.
But
Sir?
Does that still go if I was told prior to those 3 days that I needed to start looking for a place because he was finna sell the house because he wanted to get a 2-flat? So once I was told that,
that's not true.
I felt that I needed to go and find somewhere to stay anyway. The first place that I came on was nice. I put my money down for it. I got approved and I moved. I let him know I was moving. I said, would it be a problem if I move in this certain amount of time, being that you were finna move
That's the
anyway?
question. Did you all say, will that be a problem?
I asked, that was
What
the
was
text.
his
Would it be a
response?
problem?
What was
No,
his-
he said, no, go ahead and do what you do. I can't stop you from moving.
Okay, and
That's
he
not what
didn't
happened,
mind
Your
you
Honor.
not paying.
Right.
He says the last month you paid for was May. Is that correct?
Right.
So do you think you owe for June? If not, why?
If not, why? Because I believe that I paid coming in instead of paying that first month like he said. He's saying I paid coming in.
And we're not
after
going
that
back
month.
to 09?
Because that all adds up to now. Because when I first came in, I paid month rent to come into the place.
1 month
not true.
deposit? Is that what you're referring to?
Meaning that when we get to June now, that month should already be paid for because I paid coming in.
Is that true?
No, I
A
have
month
receipts.
ahead? Let's see.
He paid a month after.
What are the damages for?
The damages, I have pictures. I also have a copy of the lease if you want to see that also.
Yeah. And did you sell the house or put it?
No, what happened was I told him prior.
You gave him notice, as he should have given you notice.
That I was trying to rent the house out. Never told him I was selling anything.
Okay.
I told him I was going to rent the house out.
Did you tell him when you would? Let me see it,
No,
please.
I didn't give him a date. I just told him in the near future.
Okay.
I also have a statement from one of his movers that helped him move about the rail that was broken. That's part of what I'm suing for.
Plaintiff Gabriel Bullock rented 2 rooms in his house to the defendant, and he claims one night he heard the defendant having loud sex with a woman who was not his girlfriend.
What do you say to the damages, sir? I'm looking at rails, holes in the wall.
Well, the damage that I remember is a mirror from opening the front door.
Saw that too.
Right, that the mirror was broken. The rail was broken on a move by the same friend that we mutually share.
I disagree. According to the friend, the rail was broke previous.
This is the person who helped you move, right?
Correct.
Says that while in the process of helping him move, you knocked the rail out of the wall. This is your own man.
Yeah, he slipped.
This is your own guy.
It's a mutual
He
friend.
might be a player hater, your own buddy.
It's a
He said
mutual
something
friend. It's a mutual friend we both share. He slipped down the stairs while we wasn't even
Also,
moving
he
nothing.
stated that some female he had there before had knocked the rail out of the wall. There you go with your women problem.
That has nothing. That's coming
That's what
from
you
a
told
second
him.
party stating something to cover up something
And
that
he did it under oath. He did it with a notary.
He also owes me money, so I mean, we can go there
Good. You
too.
can get it from him and pay him. Because
So if we're talking about damages, then the furniture that I left there that he sold should constitute for the money for the damages.
First of
'Cause
all,
that's a counterclaim.
I left a living room set. I left a computer stand. Something else.
You should have sued him for it, sir. That's a counterclaim. What were you going to say?
first of all, that stuff is still there. It's like I'm storing his stuff. That stuff is still there.
Talked himself into some storage fee.
No, because
How much you want to pay for the storage fee?
Before I left, I asked him, he said, do you want to keep any of your stuff? I said, no. He said, okay, I'm going to sell it. The stuff that he didn't want, me and him helped together, took the stuff to the backyard and threw it out.
Sir, let me just tell you, I'm going to grant him his judgment. Your defense today toward the rent is that he told you at some point in the future he was going to rent the place out. And you decided 3 days later to move. And that is unreasonable to think that he intended to rent the place within the next 3 days. Otherwise, he would have said, I have someone to rent the place, not I'm going to in the future. I have someone, yes, that might mean within the next 30 days you're going to have to leave. I intend to rent it out. Certainly doesn't sound like he had anyone in mind. As such, your defense fails. Secondly, I'm convinced by the pictures and your man that helped you move that you caused the damages. Judgment for the plaintiff, 1,020. You guys take care.
No shame in my game. I like to save money. So is that a problem?
I don't know. We just have to see.
Still looking for a barber.